I didn't flinch when he said it. His fork hit the table. His voice cracked the room like glass shattering. "You're selfish! Your sister is better than you!" Everyone froze. My mother, my sister, even the clink of plates went quiet. But me? I laughed. A sharp, hollow sound. "Nice," I said, leaning back in my chair. "Then I won't pay for her rent." That was the moment. The exact second the balance of power shifted, though they didn't realize it yet. My father's face drained, then twisted, but he stayed silent. Funny thing is, I used to be the invisible glue, the one who carried the family without complaint. Tuition, rent, credit card bills, every time someone fell, I picked them up. My sister especially. She'd call me crying, promising she'd pay me back someday. Someday never came. I didn't mind at first. She was family, and family, I believed, was supposed to protect each other. That belief cracked slowly, not in one blow. A snide comment here, a cold shoulder there. Then, when my sister got caught lying about finishing her degree, my parents defended her, said she was under pressure. When I bought my first house, they called me arrogant for celebrating. The favoritism wasn't new. But that night at dinner, it became undeniable. It wasn't just the words. It was how my mother looked at me, like I deserved it. How my sister smirked behind her wine glass. Like they'd all agreed I was the villain in a story I didn't even know I was in. I started replaying moments. How my father had borrowed money and forgotten to return it. How my sister had posted about her independent life, neglecting to mention I paid her rent. How my mother said I owed them because I was the one who made it out. The betrayal wasn't sudden. It had been rotting for years. I had just been too loyal to smell it. That dinner changed everything. I didn't shout. I didn't argue. I just smiled. If they saw me as selfish, fine. I'd show them what selfish really looked like. I spent weeks in silence, observing. I noticed how my sister leaned on my rent payments like oxygen. How my parents' mortgage was 3 months behind. How their pride only existed because of the money I funneled into their lives. They thought I was an ATM in human form. They forgot what happens when the machine stops dispensing. I started small. I told my sister I needed receipts for the rent transfers for tax purposes. She panicked but sent me fabricated ones. That was mistake number 1. I kept the evidence. Then I contacted the landlord directly. I owned her lease now, quietly. She didn't even notice when her next rent payment didn't go through, because I intercepted the notice first. For my parents, I pulled back support gradually. No more automatic bill payments. When they called, I claimed delays at work. Meanwhile, I transferred their overdue notices into a neat folder. Every move was deliberate, calculated, silent. The breaking point came faster than I expected. 1 month after that dinner, my sister called screaming. Her landlord had served an eviction notice. She begged me for help. I let her talk for a full 5 minutes before I asked, calmly, "Didn't Dad say you're better than me? Why don't you ask him?" Silence. Then tears. I hung up. A week later, my parents showed up at my house unannounced. My father's arrogance had thinned. "The bank is threatening foreclosure," he muttered. My mother added, "We just need a little help like before." I poured myself a drink, let the ice crack. "Strange," I said. "You called me selfish not long ago. Better ask your perfect daughter." My father's jaw tightened. My mother's lips trembled. They had no answer. The final act was poetic. I invited them all to dinner at my house, just like before. This time, I set the table myself. Halfway through, my sister snapped. "You've ruined my life! I'm getting evicted because of you!" I leaned forward. "No, you ruined your life because you thought I'd keep carrying you, but I dropped the weight." Then I slid the folder across the table. Copies of fake rent receipts, unpaid bills, foreclosure notices, all their lies, all their dependence, documented and undeniable. My mother's face went pale. My father opened his mouth, then closed it again. My sister stammered something about family loyalty. I smiled. Exactly. Loyalty. Pity you never showed me any. That night, I didn't shout. I didn't need to. The silence at the table was louder than any outburst could have been. By the next week, my sister was out of her apartment. My parents sold their car to keep the bank at bay. They never asked me for help again. Pride kept them quiet. Fear kept them distant. And me? I slept better than I had in years. People call revenge poison. They're wrong. Revenge isn't poison, it's medicine. A bitter dose, yes, but sometimes it's the only cure for betrayal. My father was right about one thing that night. I am selfish. Finally.